fly high, no lie. You know it's bullet.
And with all that being said, I've decided to continue my athletic and academic career at the Stanford University.
Yes, sir.
Network, it means everything to me. Back when I, didn't have all these offers, maybe like one or two, he was always promoting me, trying to get me on the radar, this guy, you need to look out for him. It really means, the world to me, thinking he's been there, like I said, since I've been small, always shouting me out and, always just trying to put me on, just give me notice more than I really appreciate Big.
I mean, shoot, I was the new kid. Faison kind of was with the Ducks for a little minute. So my first year, of course, he had all the hype. He was probably by like 6'2" at 12. He was a mutant. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was a mutant. But I mean, from then you could see just the potential he had. I mean, I'm not surprised he's the number one quarterback. If you would have seen him in youth ball, you would have thought he was the number one quarterback in that class back then. So I mean, like going against him kind of like prepared you already for like what high school was. I mean, he looked like a high school quarterback around that time. So I mean, like trash talking with him. He's more quiet though. I will say that he don't talk that much trash. But I mean, like trash talking with him, going out there and hitting drills with Faison. I mean, I kind of like just builds you ready. I mean, hopefully I play against him in college. I would love it.
As y'all know, this is the Sizzling News Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us. I already know we got a couple of viewers, man. Get at us in the chat room. Co-host Nigel gonna be on here in a second, but I wanted to say thank y'all once again for tapping in on this Thursday ever so often. Chronologically, if you will. So, man, just set aside some time, relax, and sit back for some laughs, ladies and gentlemen. And we got a special guest coming on today. Mr. Langford. I'll get his first name. I ain't gonna do him like that. Braydon, it's not Langford, Braydon Langston of East Hall, playing for 444 on a Puma circuit. So we're gonna tap into him, get a little bit about his story, and bring it up to speed for basketball that's coming on this Saturday at Lake Point for the GB, Georgia Basketball Coaches Association. So that being said, I'm gonna bring on my co-host, man of the hour, Mr. Najee Wilkins.
Yes, sir, man. What's going on, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's always good to see you, brother. So, you booked this guest, man. So just kind of give us a foreshadowing of kind of how this came about, man.
Yeah, man. I did a story on him. Braydon Langston is like that. You guys are gonna hear from him in just a second. But the kid's special, man. You look at his wingspan, 6'6", very long, athletic, and he's not just a finisher around the rim. He can defend at a high level. I love his two-way ability, block shots, great perimeter defender. Can put the ball, down, create offense not just for himself but for his teammates. I mean, he's an all-around great, just guard or wing player, I guess you could say. All regions have a caliber player. So just continue to show that light, man. A lot of people have been highlighting him, Relentless Hoop, and several others obviously on the circuit. He had a nasty poster earlier in the summer. Just absolutely just went toe-to-toe with dude. So the kid's great, man. So I'm excited to talk to him when he's ready and bring him on the show, man. But I'm going to actually reach out right now.
All right, that's a bet, man. That's a bet. Yeah, man, like I said, he plays on the Puma circuit. It's a lot of it's still some like bashing about the Puma circuit, but is it as competitive to me as EYBL 3SSB or Under Armour? No. It's probably the weaker out of the it may be neck and neck with Under Armour. Under Armour's got some dogs, but the Under Armour circuit has some killers. You know what I'm saying? We got Lincoln Crosby down there. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you got we'll probably ask Braydon about this a little later. Says I'm backstage, yeah. Plays with Romello on 3. But it's a lot of on 3 talent like Eli Ellis, his brother Isaac Ellis plays on the Puma circuit. So it's slept on. It's got some talent down there, but that's why we're gonna bring the young man on to, you know what I'm saying, give it from his perspective. Somebody who's playing there on a week-to-week basis when they're not taking breaks.
Hey, what's up?
There he is. What's going on, Brady? How's everything doing?
Going good.
Bad, man. Brady, do me a favor, man. If you can't, just turn your phone camera, turn it horizontal. Should be able to get a better picture. Different studio.
There it is.
It is. Yes, sir. All right, cool, man. What's going on, man? How was today for you, bro?
It was a good day at practice.
What kind of drills they had you doing, man?
Did post perimeter, a lot of guard drills, did some post drills too. Went up and down.
Nice, man. And your overall thoughts, just Braydon, how this past season went with obviously East Hall, just how you were able to just perform at such a high level.
I feel like my coach put me in a great spot, with my teammates that helped me. He put me in great positions in the plays we ran and let me play freely.
Got you. In terms of the offense, Braydon, did they center it a lot around you, or was it kind of some things like you would chase boards and get offense? Like, kind of how was the offense centered in your eyes?
It was centered around me and my god brother, and I got a lot of rebounds.
Okay,
He's helped create.
100%. Talk about relationship with your god brother a little bit and playing with him. How much fun is that?
It's fun. We've been playing with each other since elementary school. Play AAU till the last 2 seasons. We stopped playing with each other because he's excelling in football, and I started excelling in basketball. So I went our ways in AAU, but it's been fun. Got great chemistry.
100%, man. And then just when you on the court, they always kind of compare basketball to kind of like an art. You kind of painting your canvas and your picture. Just when you on the court, man, what goes through your head? Do you see basketball as an art form?
I do. What goes through my head is just to be the most athletic on the court and to be the best defender.
There we go, and that's what we obviously highlighted. So let's go. You said to be the best kind of just athlete, best player on the court. So your athleticism, let's talk about that, Braydon. Is that natural, or did you have to kind of work to kind of attain that?
It's really natural. I started doing leg workouts about a year ago, but most of it's natural. My dad was a dunker. He played back in college and high school.
Got you. And then in terms of defense, Braydon, I know you want to be the best defender. Was that another thing that was mindset for you, or you just naturally just always a pretty good defender?
I was naturally a good defender, but once I started realizing I was good at it, I wanted to focus on it and make it a part of my game, like the best part.
In your eyes, Braydon, you obviously on all these big circuits. Why do you think defense sometimes maybe with some of these top players are overlooked? Why do you think they don't make that a part of their game?
Because they're so good at offense, they don't think they need defense, and they think their offense can get them everywhere, but defense matters.
100%, man. In your eyes, you train every day. What do you think it takes to be a great defender?
Just be consistent and be in good shape and get in the weight room.
Got you. How important is lateral quickness to you?
It's very important. I don't have the best lateral quickness, but I've been working on it. But my length helps make up for it.
Got you. Let's go back and dive back into the offensive piece of your game. Obviously, great athlete, but like I said, the thing that's underrated, I think, is just your ability to put the ball on the floor and create offense. Just talk about how you continue to develop that over the course of your career.
I started playing guard back in 7th grade, and so it's just gotten constantly better. It's better and better. I've been putting more ball handling positions, been working on more drills.
100%. Would you say when you obviously work it, do you have a trainer? Do you kind of just prep on your own? Do you watch a lot of people shoot? Like how do you do like far as your training?
I have a trainer. I work out with him 2 times a week, and I work out with my dad 3 times. Then I get on the gun some of those days instead of working out, but just depends on the day.
Okay. What? Okay. So two-part question. What does Pops usually have you do, and how many shots do you get on the gun?
When I go on the gun, I try to get at least 700, 500, 700, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And then on my dad, we do a lot of post work, like post drills, fadeaways, mid posts. And then we do a lot of ball handling too.
Okay. I want to pick your brain. So the post part. Have you been watching the NBA Finals at all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think what makes Shea so special is Shea can get to a spot and he can rise and pull up and it's going to be money pretty much every time, right? For the most part in that range. Sometimes the post is slept on though, but like you said, the post fade away, getting to that sweet spot can really help your offense. So for you, how do you feel like that's helped you with, let's say the 3 ball is not working, you can get to that spot, elevate, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to hit it?
Because I know if I have a smaller defender, it's harder to dribble around them. So I just take them to the post, and then it's less pressure off of me, opposed to trying to break them down and go by them.
Got you. In terms of post work, anybody you like to watch in terms of that aspect of the game?
I like to watch Kevin Durant just on his like face ups and his shots.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. He's really good. Okay, one more. I'll throw it to you, Bacon. In terms of the AAU circuit so far, what's your thoughts so far about how you've been performing?
I think I performed well. My defense has been staple of my game, and I've had a lot of athletic plays that's gotten noticed. I go out on the court, try to guard the best player every single game, do my best to shut them down.
All right, babe. It's on you.
There it is. I'm gonna dive into that, brother. You talked about playing defense for you, man. Just describe your mentality describe your mentality when you're on the court in big games.
It's just go out there and not focus on the crowd, not focus on what they're saying, just focus on me and the person I'm guarding.
When is that shift? Like you get on the court, I'm sure you get ready. Just before tip, you're hearing a little bit of the crowd. You're probably hearing a little bit of your coach. At what point does everything kind of go silent and you lock into your own zone?
Right after tip off, just when whoever gets the ball, when they start coming down, when they get their first possession, I just focus on that.
With your length, you like to play defense. You feel like you strive. You feel like you play better in the zone, man, or you feel like you just it doesn't matter, coach. I'm that guy on defense. It doesn't really matter what I'm in. I'm gonna make plays.
To me, I like playing man defense. I being able to know what he's gonna do, think about it. But with our high school team, we full court press the entire game, so it helps me a lot. Just getting used to guarding people, knowing people's moves. I like to watch film on people's moves, see what they like to do.
So you like a 7-foot Pat Bev? You like to pick up 62, 92 feet?
I don't really like picking up full court. I like playing half court defense, but I don't really have a choice in high school. So
nah, that's just making you an even better player at East Hall. I'm saying up there in the Gainesville area, Gainesville, maybe more of a trademark name. Just how do you feel about playing basketball at East Hall High School?
I like it. We get to play against good competition. We go and play in tournaments. We went out of state twice. We went to Alaska my freshman year. And last year we went to Tennessee and won a tournament there. And we played Holy Innocents last year too. So we play against good competition. We have this tournament in the local area. It's called Linear Lamb. It's always packed out. We play Gainesville pretty much every year.
Okay. So how's it been this summer? I know y'all been going school to school playing, a little summer league ball. Where have you been and how have y'all done? Can you hear me, brother?
We went off that one. This one.
Oh, good, man.
What were you asking?
I was asking, I know y'all been going school to school for summer league basketball. Just what schools have y'all been to? Who have y'all played and have y'all fared during that time?
We've actually been doing a lot of practice, but we went to Ron Guerin camp. We played Winder Barrow. We played Commerce. We played Prince Avenue. And played Hart County.
Okay. So I know Wander Bar. I know they got some killers. I'm not sure about Prince Ave and the other schools. Not really known for basketball, but you played them. Just how did they hold up against y'all?
Hart County, we had a great game that game. We ended up winning by 30, I think.
That's tough.
Wander Barrow, their starting five sat out that game, so didn't really get to really see how good they were. But we won that game by 32. And then when we played Commerce, we lost by, I want to say 4. But we were extremely tired from pressing the first game. And, we decided that, we would keep pressing. That's our, statement of the team. We press. That's what we're known for. And so we were tired, but we tried to fight through. So we lost. And then the Prince Avenue game, we played them at our gym. And we won by 30 that game, too.
Yeah, 30, almost everybody, man. So how has the AAU season prepared you, for going, you play, it's obviously more competitive on the circuit, right? Come back home, do you find yourself playing a little bit faster than some teams, or, do you find yourself playing at the competition? Just how has it been for you up to this point?
It's just it slows down I get to play guard more because, you have 3 great guards. I have Nate, Micah Goodlow, Mello. So I get to play in the more guard position, and everything just slows down. And it's less competition too. I mean, you're on a circuit, everybody's good.
So it's fair to say that during the school season, you may be working on more moves to then take to the next off season where you're playing. On a competitive circuit. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in your opinions, athletes, I'm gonna throw it back to Naj. Uh, on the Puma circuit. Now, I talked to the people, man, at the beginning of the show. It's like Nike, say 3S has to be kind of eye level of competition. Then you got Under Armour and Puma. Some people kind of downgrade Puma, but I think, what I'm saying, it's got a lot of killers up there. So, what I'm saying, you play it, what I'm saying, we just evaluated. What's your thoughts on the whole Puma circuit, man?
I think the Puma circuit really gets like diminished how good they are because teams are good enough to go play on the EYBL circuit, CBB circuit. So we're good enough to go play on those circuits, and we play a lot of good teams that have top ranked players in the country. So we
I mean,
played sir.
now go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
We
off.
played Team Coup. They have Reese Austin, top guard in the country. We played Southern Ties. They have a top 20 player in the country on I forgot what ranking it is, but he's top 20. Played against good competition.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Puma
My,
at a high level.
For sure, Braydon. My question for you: I know some kids care, some kids don't, but just what's your turn? What's your thoughts on just being ranked, obviously from 0-3 this early on in your career? Still got 2 more full seasons to go. Just what does that mean to you? Just seeing your hard work get noticed and exposure, and more colleges coming to visit you, see you.
It's just motivation to know I'm right there, and I can be so much better.
100%. Just talk about just the latest with your recruiting, Braydon. I know Cincinnati's interested. Several colleges have reached out. Just name some of those schools for me.
I've been offered by Cincinnati and Tulane. Tulane offered me yesterday, and then I have about 10 college coaches coming to at least 10 coming to my games tomorrow.
Tough.
Like LSU, Rice, and Cal.
Nice. Okay. So look, forgive our ignorance. I'm still new to the 27 class. I know they just hit a period where they can reach out to y'all. So walk me through like what is that like? Like I know before like there might be an offer here and there, but now they can like really start to recruit you guys. So in terms of the basketball realm of that, what does that kind of look like? Was it just giving you guys calls on that Sunday? What was your experience with that?
It was just getting for me. It was really just getting calls those that night, and just started to build relationships with all the coaches that text or call.
Got you. And then in terms of obviously this period, a lot of coaches, like you just said, they're going to come out to see you, evaluate your game, all that good stuff. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in terms of last year, can you give us a run through of what GBCA looks like? I've never attended. I've always done it EYBL or 3SSB or something like that. Those kind of circuits or on the radar. What does GBCA live period do for great athletes like yourself?
It gets everybody like looked at. Like you can, every good team in Georgia is going to be there. Yeah. I know Wheeler's going to be there. I think Grayson's going to be there. So a lot of the top teams, and then every court you see on there's coaches, a lot of coaches.
Got you. And then in terms of obviously that summer ball running with your normal team. So does that help in your eyes? Does that help with chemistry down the line when you guys go for fall camp and you guys getting ready for the season? Does these summer windows really help you guys out?
It does, in my opinion. Just helps me get used to playing with other people, and then I get to build chemistry by knowing how people like to play and taking it to other people.
100%. All right, so give us a preview a little bit, Braydon. Not all the players, but just some players we need to watch out for East Hall. We know obviously your godbrother is getting more into football, is becoming a star there, like how you are in basketball. But who's some other players we should watch alongside yourself for East Hall this year?
My cousin Khalil, I don't think he'll be able to attend this weekend, but he's about 6'5", 6'6". He's really talented. And then my godbrother, I know he's more focused on football, but I still think he's good enough to play mid-major Division I basketball. He
Gotcha.
just he verbally committed to Kennesaw State this past week, but he's still good enough to get multiple Division I basketball offers.
100%. That's big. What's your godbrother's name?
Jamarcus Harrison.
Oh, I just seen that. Oh, okay. Hey, he is a dog on football, though.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's a dog in football. Okay, got you, man. Okay, so walk me through a little bit of just youth basketball. Let's explore that realm just a little bit, Braydon. Just where did you play? Were you always kind of just based in that Gainesville area? Did you play kind of locally in Gwinnett? Like how did your youth basketball career kind of look like?
But when I was younger, till I'd say about 5th to 6th grade, I played with this team called Georgia Eclipse, hometown team. They had all the best players in the area. We were good, and then everybody started focusing on football. Now 3 or 4 of those guys are Division I football guys with offers and like high major prospects. And then I moved to Norcross Heat my 7th grade year, Then I got looked at by other better team or not better teams on the circuit because our North RC team was a good team, but you still can't compete with other circuit teams. Just getting looked at. Then I went to Georgia Stars. And halfway through the year, I felt like I should leave, and I went to Game Elite. And then so I played with Game Elite, and then we moved to 444. Our coach moved, and he just kept most of the players.
Got it. Okay, let's break down some of them stops. Let's talk your experience with Georgia Star, another kind of just program here in the state a lot of people know about.
Georgia Stars, it was a great experience. It was my first time playing on the circuit. Got to go to 2 EYBL trips, and I had great teammates. And I just great coach, great guy, love him. But I just felt like it was a better situation for me to leave there and go to Game Elite.
Speaking of obviously Game Elite, they play high in basketball. We know this past year, Kevin Savage, Coben Landrew, obviously Caleb Holt. What was that experience like with Game Elite?
The great bond. Got to talk to all the guys, all the age groups. When we went to sessions, we all hung out in rooms. Built bonds, and then all the players are cool. Great experience. Got great gear. Got the best coaches. But I built a bond with my coach there, Chris Williams, and then we moved. I just moved with him to a different team.
Got you. If you don't mind elaborating a little bit, just talk about your bond with Coach Chris Williams and what he kind of means to you.
Whenever I need something, I can always ask Coach. He'll let me know what everything's going on. He gets me he helps me with my college recruiting. He told me I didn't know I got the offer until he told me about Tulane. And he's if we need something, he has you he'll have your back.
Love to see it. All right. Some more before I throw it back to Bacon. I want to ask, in your eyes, what do you think is the key to development at that younger age as you kind of hit, and as you said, the high school range, you play with stars and then Game Elite. Do you think it's coaching? Do you think it's the training? What do you think is the key to be a successful recruit where you can kind of get noticed and get more out there when it's time?
I think just don't try to force anything. Don't try to rush it. Just wait till it's your time to be seen. Obviously push yourself out there, play on circuits, get have good coaches that can put you out there, but don't try to force it. Just let it come to you.
All right. This next question before I throw it to Bacon. Braydon, for you, when did you know that you would be special at this game, right? Was it a moment in youth ball? Was it something this past season or playing on the high school run? When did you know, hey, man, I can really do this and play this at the next level?
I feel like when I left my hometown team and I went to play for Norcross Heat, we played against better competition because it wasn't a hometown team. It was more of an Atlanta area team. And we played in good tournaments, and I was still playing good. And it wasn't like a fall off for me. And I kept excelling. I was like, oh, I'm still actually good when I play against other people. It's not just a Gainesville thing.
I'm like that. Playing this up, but go ahead, baby.
100%. I'm gonna pull up this clip. You know what I'm saying? This recent dunk, man. I gotta get your thoughts and your reaction. Yeah, it's crazy, but I'm not gonna lie. This might be it's definitely top 5 that I've seen this summer. So I'm sure it's up on the screen, man. So relive this moment, man. Kind of take me through when you know what I'm saying. Obviously, we beat the defender off the dribble, right side of the wing, and he came down here, man. Did you think he was gonna jump, or did you know he was gonna finish, regardless of whether he jumped or not?
So it's funny when I went to it was an inbound play. When I went to inbound, there was 3 dudes from a different team. They're like, "You gonna dunk on somebody?" And then I was like, "Yeah, I'm messing around." And then I inbounded and I cut, and then I cut by the dude and he passed it, and I just seen him do under the paint. I was like, "I'm gonna dunk on him in my head," because in my opinion, I don't think anybody in the Puma Circle can jump on me. That's just my personal opinion, and so I just went and I dunked on him. And then the second time, the alley-oop, I was just running down the court. I see Lincoln with the ball. He's a great passer, but when he threw it up, I could go get it, and I got it.
That's crazy, brother. That's crazy. And the fact that you talked to somebody and then did it, I know that. So your name was probably buzzing around the gym for the whole time. But Lincoln Crosby, teammate, just what's y'all battles like, man? You know what I'm saying? During, you know what I'm saying, one-on-one practice, you getting some wins, he getting some wins majority of the time. Just walk me through that process.
I know his goal is to kill me every time. My goal is to stop him as much as I can. It's hard to guard him. He's a great player. It's hard to contest his shot. But he can take you to the post. I'm almost dead, but I can guard him perimeter, and he can post me up. So it's even each other out.
Okay. Even out. So he's at OTE. Melo's at OTE, man. Just what's your thoughts? You know what I'm saying? There's so many avenues to success in basketball these days, but what's your thoughts on just the OTE route?
Um, it seems fun. I haven't experienced it, obviously, but when I go there, it's always a great vibe in the gym. Everybody's always upbeat. Mel and Lincoln, cool people. And I seen the work. I seen the gym. It's a great gym. And then I seen like all the courts, great courts.
Nah, for sure, but it's definitely a great vibe. What What is Braydon's goals for the rest of this offseason?
The rest of this off season is my goal is to get stronger and become a better shooter. Because I feel like if I do that, my game goes to a whole another level. My defense gets better, my offensive game gets better, and then obviously to get more offers, get out there more and become higher ranked.
I think you know what I'm saying. I think that's gonna come, man. A lot of people, it'd be kind of it's a great area for people to get rankings. Some people don't get it till later on, but eventually I know you'll get it, man. But back to shooting the basketball, you mean from behind the arc? Cause you got a smooth little pull up jump, man. I mean, I've been watching your game. I don't know it all inside out, but I know you got a smooth one pull up jump.
I can shoot. But I want to become like an elite shooter. Because at the next level, I can become an elite two-way player, go lock somebody up, and then come down and hit the shot.
So if I said you kind of game reminds me of Gerald Green, would you frown upon that? You'd be like, hey,
Ooh, I can hear you.
If I said your game reminded me of Gerald Green, if you know who that is,
I do.
would you agree, or would you say, nah, I'm a little more polished at his age than I am at when he was my age? You get what I'm trying to say, but would you agree?
I would agree with that statement.
Okay. Little Gerald Green, yeah, he got some bounce. Ladies and gentlemen, he got some bounce. It is crazy. He got a smooth game. So when like you say, you get a lot of college attention. LSU, Cal, Kennesaw State. You just brought up Tulane, and I believe it's a couple. We got a lot of schools reaching out to you, honestly. But what's your dream school, man? Where do you really want to go?
Growing up, I've always loved Duke in Georgia, because I'm from Georgia. Family, everybody loves Georgia.
Okay. I think Georgia is in contact with you, right? Or
Yes, sir.
So not you know what I'm saying, tell them too much, but you know what I'm saying, if it came down to it, you know what I mean, Duke UGA, I mean, it's like I want to stay at home, be the hometown hero, but at the same time, I want to follow that, you know what I'm saying, that great Dookie lineage. You got Jared McCain, you know what I'm saying, Zion Wilson, so many others, Jason Tatum, you know what I'm saying. So what would you choose?
I don't know. It's gonna depend. Like when I get older, the team, how I would fit in, who's already there, who's transferring. So that goes for really any college, because I don't know any of that yet. That's almost 2 years away. So I can't really say. It could be a whole different team that comes one of my favorites.
He ain't lying. With the
That's
transfer,
great answer.
he ain't lying.
But it's wise times years for sure. So like you say, you've been watching the finals. You know what I'm saying? It's an elimination game tonight. You think Indiana gonna fold? You think Shea and the guys are gonna come through and get the ring?
I think Indiana's gonna win tonight, but it really depends if Tyrese Halliburton has a bad game. He doesn't have to have a great game, just good enough for them to win. Cause they have Pascal, Nimhard, but just enough for them to get over the hump.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, like you said, it all falls on the point guard, man. I know it's done with that calf strain, but you gotta do what you gotta do. But long term, man, we are ultimately. I know you want to get to the NBA, man. Have you thought that far? And if so, like, what are some of those goals, man? Is it multi-score time champion, NBA Finals MVP? I'm saying, what you got on your plate?
My goal, if I get to the league, is just to become probably 6 man of the year or something like that. Just get a solid role and be good at that. And anything else past that is great. But somewhere I can be at least a great role player. And you obviously get a bigger role if it comes to that.
Okay. Flashback 10 years, when you were 10 years younger, would your younger self be proud of where you are today?
I believe so. Because I didn't really, when I was younger, like Georgia Crips days, I didn't think I'd get this far. Like I didn't think I'd be nationally ranked. I didn't think I'd have offers. But then I went to Norcross Heat, thought I was gonna be better, and then now we're here.
100%. So to the younger kids that's watching this, like obviously you just get lost in that process of trying to be that good days, right? What would
Mhm.
you say to somebody who's 10 years back like you were, not saying that they would get to be nationally ranked, have these schools reaching deep power four schools reaching out to them? What would you say to them to just to kind of stay in the process, keep stacking good days?
Just keep working, and then the rankings really don't mean anything because you can be unranked, go to college, and become the best player for all you know. But just keep working and then forget rankings. As long as you know you're getting better and doing the most possible, you'll be fine.
All right. Back to you,
I
Naj.
want to take it back to Georgia just real quick. I know you said obviously teams change so much, but just what's your thoughts about what they've been developing there? Obviously, a program that's getting better, really good class in 25. Like you said, likely might not be there when you get there, but seeing the talent they're getting in there, and obviously seeing the talent flourish on the big stage, like an Anthony Edwards, who's a global kind of superstar.
I just like I've been able to go to two of their games. I went to when they played TC or Grand Canyon, and I just like the way they play. They just like have a smooth offense.
What was the other one you went to?
I can't remember. It might have just been one,
Gotcha.
but I think it was two.
Okay, gotcha. Smooth offense. Okay, so in terms of obviously an offense, let's say you're going to the next level. How would you want to? I'm not, and what I liked about your answer before with the NBA, you talked about being, obviously having a solid role, but how would you want to come in as a freshman person? I know it's years off, but would you want a team that's kind of predicated around you, or would you want to kind of fill into a role?
I feel like I'll be better filling into a role and then just excelling at that role more instead of being like built around me. 'Cause I'm not that as of right now. Like right now, I'm not that type of player. Just be built around me. At least not in AAU, but I hope to become that.
Yes, sir.
But just fill into that role as of right now.
100%. Let me ask you this: what's just your thoughts when you see kids like you just said, go and rank, become a star, obviously in college, but just seeing guys blow up? I know I'm pretty sure you've seen it on Instagram, but Kayla Nazir, like he was known, but like now he's kind of become like probably ended up going to be a top rated guy pick, whatever. But just seeing guys being able to take advantage of the summer circuit and be able to really flourish.
I think it's amazing that can happen. With the social media stuff, anybody can be seen like the dunk. A lot of people have seen it, even though it happened all the way in California. A lot of people seen it, and then that also helps with recruiting. They can see my athleticism, and they can see my highlights and my averages and how I play.
100%. Let me ask you this: how can media members help players or even underrated players before you became ranked? Just guys similar to you or guys out there just to help them get more out there, you would say?
Like just if a video blows up, somebody's gonna see you. Somebody's gonna repost it. Like before this year, like my freshman year, I had a good freshman year in my opinion, but we didn't have a cameraman, and so I never had any mixtapes, any highlights. And then this past year, somebody just started recording most of our games, and I had a lot of mixtapes. All my dunks were recorded, and people got to see me, and then it helped recruiting.
100%. Do you have a favorite mixtape you like to watch?
Uh, Not really. I want to say like I just like just all of them really. It's my opinion. And
God,
I'm gonna shout out the cameraman. It's KZ_flicks on Instagram.
KZ_flicks. Y'all get at him, man. Obviously, he helps put a whole bunch of athletes on, man. A couple more, Braydon. We'll let you go, man. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. In terms of, we talked about obviously your favorite teams and on the next level, but in terms of just maybe this past year, if you were able to watch college basketball, what was one of the things you maybe enjoyed the most seeing this year?
Just like the crowds, like when something happens, the crowd's electric. Somebody dunked the ball, everybody's going crazy, and that's my favorite part.
Got you. Going back to high school, like you said, you went up against elite competition this year. What was it like going up against guys like a Caleb Wilson, like a Holy Innocence, and some of the top guys across just the country?
Uh, it was like it showed how good I feel like I can be. Because, in my opinion, I mean, he wasn't really posting up, but when he was on the perimeter, I was playing fairly good defense. No, he was just shooting over me, but I was getting good contests. I was being able to stick with him. I mean, he was still scoring, but you know what I'm trying to say. But it showed how I feel like I can be better. and my ceiling.
For sure. One more I throw it to Bacon. I'll let you wrap us up with questions, Bacon. I know this is probably early to ask Braydon, but just excuse me, when it's said and done, what do you just want your legacy to be? When people talk about Braydon Langston, what do you want people to say? I think he
Right, come back in. He looked locked in like he was going to give a profound answer.
Mm-hmm. Facts. I think he froze.
Give him a couple seconds here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, man. See if we can maybe get him back. Check my phone, see if he hit me or anything.
Uh-huh. I mean, but what we're picking up, though, is just a kid that's stacking good days, not looking long term, but like medium. You know what I mean? It's like, I got to do this to get to here. That's far off, so I need to go. I'm thinking about next week instead of next year, which is, you know what I'm saying, is a valuable perspective because life is all about perspective.
It is. I like how you said about just the role player, like not, just knowing where he's at, knowing where he wants to attain and where he wants to be, and just not, you know what I'm saying, being overly, about himself. I think that says a lot about just his parents and how they brought him up, man. And like I say, he's a special talent. He's already starting to show that. And I think it's only up for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you play for, was it 2 or 3? I think 3. We'll say 3 flagship teams in Georgia. I know the Puma team is the newest team in Georgia, but Game Elite and Georgia Stars. Oh, here we go.
All right, so you got to go, Braydon. Nah, you good, brother. No problem at all, man. But my last question, if I throw it to Bacon, is just what do you want your legacy to be, man? When people say Braydon Langston and they mention your name, brother, what do you want them to say?
I want to be like that I'm a great person in general, just off the court, just known as a good dude. And that I was always going to do my hardest and do my best.
Love that. Go ahead, Bacon. Last couple, man. Let him rock.
For sure. Back to the superficial things of life. When you did that dunk, man, you know what I'm saying, how fast, or I'm saying, when did you know that you went viral? Like, you know what I'm saying, when did it start flooding in, become real? Like, I know I just dunked on somebody and it was recorded, but when did it hit your phone?
Like, it was probably like an hour and a half after that I seen it. It was like 16 collaborated, and I clicked on it and it just blew up.
That's tough. I had a really good one today. It's definitely slipped my mind, but I've forgotten, brother. But nonetheless, man, we appreciate you coming on, ladies and gentlemen. I can't make this up, brother. It's 7-foot wingspan, jump out the gym, one of a kind athlete. If you play football, he'll probably be a 5-star receiver or something, but he's on the hardwood. I'm saying easily he's gonna be big one day. So you know what I'm saying, hop on the train now before it's too late. Because again, Braydon Langston. You can find him at East Hall High School on the circuit, playing with Puma 444, other killers out of the state of Georgia. Killers will unite, brother, and keep doing your thing. We'll see you this Saturday at Lake Point, and we'll be courtside with our popcorn and our camera looking for a show.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Tell your moms thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Braydon Langston, man. Shout out to moms, Jordan Langston, for setting this up for us, man. Appreciate the follow from both, man. Just try to, do a little story on him, man. And, yeah, man, just from there, never connect with, man. Like I said, getting in the hoop circuit has been a little bit tougher for us. But we definitely try, man, and just continue to just tell these kids stories, man. It's the best thing you can do, man. So shout out to moms putting that together and letting us talk to them.
Yes, sir, man. I'm saying we love to see it. We love to see it. We love to see I'm saying the parent, when we get to connect with the parent, that's definitely a more wholesome experience, man. We love connecting with the players too, but when we see where they come from, that just adds another layer, I'm saying, to what we do. So shout out to you, brother, for putting this together.
100%, man. I had to get it. I'll be trying, bro. Trying to get OTE guys too, man. So definitely be trying, man.
Nah, you be doing your thing, man. So we're gonna segue in. We just talked to Braydon about GBCA that's going on in Atlanta this week. Not Atlanta, but really Cartersville this Saturday. So we're gonna look at some of the teams that's gonna be there, some notable teams. We got Alexander, Alatoona, Bestic. I mean, it's pretty much gonna be probably almost every high school in the state, Cartersville, Carrollton. But for you, my friend, I'm saying, what school are you most looking forward to seeing when the Barrow Milton's in the building?
It's a lot, man. I got to be honest. I think Mount Parent got some dogs. Shane Goins is blowing up in recruiting. What he's been able to do. Just so far early in his career, 2028, I believe. He's going to be a name to know. They got some dudes, all over the court, and they're young. Last year they had a phenomenal year. They made it deep into the postseason. They got JT Scott, another guy that's phenomenal for them. Asher Wills, Landon Breckley. Dylan Binion, like they got some guys all over, man, and they're young. So, Mount Parent's gonna be an intriguing team to watch, see how they build off last year. That private classification should be a little bit more open. What I'm saying? Obviously, I know Caleb and them won it this year, but there's no Caleb this year for Holy Innocents. They do still have Keith, but that should be pretty much wide open. So that's gonna be definitely something to continue to watch out for. So that's a team I got circled. I definitely want to see Dutchtown. Will AJ Williams be running with Dutchtown? We know he's the number 2 overall player in the 28 class per ESPN, and he played obviously with Team USA. He's been doing his things, one of the best ones in the country. 2 players in that 28 class is from the state of Georgia. That says a lot about the talent, obviously, here in the Peach State. So that is a team I definitely got circled. North Cobb Christian was a really good team last year on the private classification. They just, ran into obviously a jigsaw a little bit. Came up a little bit short, but there'll be another team to see, how they're going to look. Sandy Creek, I'm interested about how they're going to look. Probably won't have the same players that they had previous years, but this team probably wasn't the most talented team that Coach Nickerson has had over his tenure with obviously Sandy Creek, and he ended up taking them and winning a title. I think that says a lot, for them. And in Cedar Grove, can you finally get the one? I believe they won one before, but can you get over the hump and win one? This is it. Like, Javante Floyd, Manny Green, like this is your last chance to try to go win one in 3A. Can you finally get it done? What other players will step up at the guard play? No Keith Gillespie, right? No Yusuf Boyer. Who else is going to step up for you and be those dudes? Then Milton got some guys as well. You look at obviously Solomon Bratton. That's a guy to know. He's kind of starting to blow up in recruiting a little bit. He has a solid name. He's known around the state and starting to be kind of known around the country. Who will be their next guard with obviously their star no longer there, and Josh Dixon? Who else is going to step up for them? How will they look? Grayson, as he mentioned, how will Grayson look moving forward? No Caleb Holt, he's gone. Bought in MJ Curry. We had him on the show. So how do they just retool a team that was really good and very senior laden, right? No Jacob Wilkins, he's at Georgia. Amir Taylor's at Kennesaw State. Right, and then you lost your star point guard as well, top 6 player in the country, Chip Prolific Prep. How do you retool that roster? Very good questions there. And then if you Pace Academy, how does you look under Sharman White, right? Like he's gotten you there. You came up a little bit short of North Oconee, right? That was the game everybody wanted to see. And you had Eric Chatfield, you had Chandler Bing, but how do you replace those two in the backcourt in the wing positions? You obviously got Bentley Luiscano, who's going to be obviously the top player in the 2028 class. What's his development look like? You know what I'm saying? Is he a guy that's dominating now, going into his sophomore season, sophomore campaign? So that's an interesting question there. And the last one, I think, is Norcross. They got a young 2029 I've been hearing about that's really good. So how does that look? Nasir is blown up. He's turned himself into a national star. You could say he's on everything. Like I think he's went from 3,000 followers before. He's at over 12K now. He's a sensation currently. So like, how does that look, for them moving forward? And I feel like last year they had good pieces, but they didn't have those pieces to win a state championship. How does Coach Mack retool that roster to get back into the fray? Along with obviously you see Nasir has gotten so much better. Who's going to align alongside him? Obviously if he stays with the Blue Devils. We know it's, ever fluent, obviously, with the transfer portal and high school. There's more stricter demands now with the GHSA and the ruling, but I think he likely will stay with Norcross. But, again, you never know.
These are facts. I think we'll hope for it's really close. If he wasn't making a move, it'd be box office, but that's just regardless. But yeah, for sure. You've covered the main ones. I would say I would co-sign that. I'm interested to see Pace Academy. Want to see Bentley Luceno, how he does, and so how he's coming in to the next year of his phase of basketball. And I can't talk this list without bringing up the hometown teams. You know what I'm saying? Noonan High School under Trent Gads. You know what I'm saying? Probably one of the best X's and O's coaches in the state, in my opinion. Took a team of guys that are not nationally or statewide known, right? And they went to the Elite Eight, upset Parkview a while back. Beat a top 10 Walton team. So they've got some talent. I think they're still undefeated this summer, playing some high level basketball, going to Kennesaw State, going to Georgia State, Georgia Tech. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure about Georgia Tech, but I believe they're undefeated. They beat Columbia at where were they at? They beat Columbia to win a basketball to win a summer, you know what I'm saying, summer jam championship, whatever you want to say. East Coweta as well, Harper Reef. You know what I'm saying, one of the best shooters in the state for East Coweta. They got a lot of talented young guys. 2029 kid, Jevin Finley. So, you know, the coach Roy Maxwell, you know what I'm saying, has been known for doing this thing, started on the south side in Jonesboro. So it's going to be interesting to see how those teams do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're very underrated, even though a lot of people know about the brand of basketball down there. Tri-Cities, you know what I mean? That's another one. Trey Keith, Jalen Wingfield. You know what I'm saying? Fresh off a state championship win title. So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of come in, especially with having, you know what I'm saying, Trey Keith and Jalen playing on A5. You know what I'm saying? Can they bring that same camaraderie and spread it throughout the rest of the team, right? I think they will. Excuse me. Wendell Barrow, you know what I'm saying? That's another team to watch. Let's see.
All right, hold on, brother. We got some comments. Want to hit this? People tapped in. Hey, can I join your panel? Explain why Michael Jordan fans are the worst sports fans of all time. It won't be boring. I've tested this topic many times on my program and other people's programs. Sure, just let us know. Give us a subscribe. Obviously, if you're watching on Bacon, who's kind of lit up right now on YouTube, sure. You know what I'm saying? Let us know, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and we can bring you on the panel, bro. We'd love to have fans. Strat Daddy also said, keep live streaming. You guys are crushing it. Brother, we appreciate it. Definitely trying to turn this live into something special, man, especially on the hoop scene on Thursdays, man. So we appreciate that support. As always, my brother. All right, sorry, Bacon, go ahead. Trying to hit the comments too, man. Keep them engaged, brother. Keep them engaged.
Nah, all good, man. I'll say with Alexander, you know, Pops, you know what I'm saying, been one of the top scorers on the 3SSB. That's another big one. Let's scroll down this list. I believe you already talked about Buford. Want to kind of get all the big names. Chapel Hill's always been historic programs. I mean, it's so many schools, but I mean, the ones you named, I mean, we didn't talk about Holy Innocents, Kingston Whitty, you know what I'm saying, to see what type of step that team's going to take. Now I'm missing Caleb Wilson. So, I mean, it's a lot of teams, brother, but I think you hit the nail on the head, bringing up Norcross for sure, Pace Academy, Wheeler, Coleman Landry, oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? I respect him to tear heads off. So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of, you know what I'm saying, work the brackets. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to play who? Are they going to mix in some high seeded team or high classification teams with low classification teams? That's how I kind of do. It's off season, man. We just want to see where everybody's at, have some fun with it. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely intrigued about this for sure.
For sure. And the other team we didn't mention was McEachern. You know, they just got to transfer in Zach Graves. I think it's going to be special for them because then it gives, you know, Chase Lumpkin the ability just to score the basketball at a high level, right? He's been doing that, but like he don't have to always be the ball handler. You got a guy that can set the offense, set the table, and do your things. Very physical, can run the offense well, defend. So that's a great pickup for them. And just how will they build out the rest of their roster? How does that look with, you know, obviously losing some of their guys? So that's going to be another team to watch as well.
100%. Chase Lumpkin just picked up a Florida State offer right now. Is currently competing at the Elite 100 Nike at the Elite Top 100 Nike camp. Haven't seen anything or heard anybody reporting the news just yet. It's still kind of early. It's going on as we speak. So stay tuned for any of those updates. We will provide those for y'all. So yeah, 100%, brother. Appreciate you bringing that up.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to look at hopefully we got some Kentucky fans or some big blue blood fans in the building. We're going to take a look at this Kentucky recruiting basketball wise. So Taylor Kinney plays at OTE. One of the biggest names in college basketball, right? As you know what I'm saying, I believe got honors at the NBA PA camp. You know what I'm saying? Was going back and forth with the MVP. I will get his name here just in a second, but he has an OV schedule coming up, except for an OV next week at Kentucky. Previously, at the beginning of this month, had an OV with Louisville. So you know what I'm saying, everybody knows about that rivalry. Big high commodity, man. But he's also a native of Kentucky that's now playing in Atlanta. So I know it's still early. You know what I'm saying? With him being from Kentucky, we've seen the same thing kind of happen last year with Jasper Johnson. Just what are your thoughts on him scheduling 2 OVs with these 2 top Kentucky teams back to back?
Yeah, I think that showed you, teams that he likes. You know what I'm saying? Kentucky's obviously a storied program. We know how good they are with Mark Pope. They had a really productive season, I think, this year. And when you look at him as a player, he's a phenomenal just guard/wing player. Offensively, I think he does a lot, answers a lot of questions for you. And, this in-state recruiting battle is crucial because Louisville's trying to get back to what they were. Remember how good of a team they were with Rick Pitino. This was a top caliber team. And although they're in the ACC, like whenever you thought about Louisville, he's like, okay, yeah, this is a team to watch for, And with this new era, they got a really good coach that came in. You know what I'm saying? So, like, how does that look for them moving forward with their team? And obviously trying to attract this talent to come in and be able to compete against the Kentuckys. Now, it's not Kentucky with John Calipari, but it still is a formidable team. So, just similar to Georgia Tech, how we always talk about the in-state recruiting battles and wins. Well, we see those in-state recruiting battle wins. Who is winning with those top, recruits in the state of Kentucky? That's going to be crucial, and obviously across the country.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's no secret. Louisville is still kind of scattered, you know what I'm saying, going through head coach after head coach. Mm-hmm. If he decides to stay in state, I think he'll probably go towards the bluegrass in Kentucky. Though I think that Louisville got Michael Brown to sign or commit with him. So, you know what I'm saying, that's a step in the right direction. But as we continue to go through the recruits, man, just Mark Pope came in not really having any big time recruits. I don't think he had any blue chips or any, you know what I'm saying, big time names. When you see him attack the recruiting grounds this, you know what I'm saying, this swiftly after the first year, so what does that say to you as a coach?
It says a lot. It says he's purposeful. It says he knows what he's doing, and to be so early, like look at this year for Kentucky, they backed it up, right? He had to go hit the portal, get Uwe, right? Get some of these players to align. And that's not always easy. As Braydon alluded to in our interview, like a full roster can be completely eradicated. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It could be completely eradicated. And for him to come in to try to fill the shoes of Calipari. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, Calipari only won 1 ring, or he did this with Kentucky. But every year he had an NBA player in that draft practically. Guys that I'm not just saying just regular role play. I'm talking about stars in the league. Like consistently, look at the D Books, like De'Aaron Fox. You look at a solid role player, obviously Malik Monk, like consistently just paving out guys. AD star, Cat star, like so for him to come in there that year one and have this team playing at a high level and having them make a tournament run, like he's just getting started. He just putting his imprints on the Kentucky Wildcats, and I think that says a lot about what Coach Pope is doing, and that's going to help him with recruiting. He was doing recruiting at a high-end level even that first year. Now, okay, hey, here's the resume. Here's what I did year one. Here's how I backed it up. Come be a part of something great here of what I'm building with the Kentucky Wildcats program.
100%. You know what I'm saying? Added 2 more names to the list for Coach Pope. Is Beckham Black, as we all know, the little brother to Anthony Black, I believe is his name, playing with the Orlando Magic. But Minka Murin, I'm saying that's a dude. But it seems that they've I'm not gonna say they dropped the ball on him, but
he's still warm to him.
He's still warm to him, and that's why I didn't want to say they dropped the ball. So the reason why I said that, ladies and gentlemen, he was scheduled for an OV earlier, I think in the spring. It may have been in the winter. It pushed him. They pushed his visit back to bring in Caleb Wilson, and I think rightfully so. He's more of the priority guy. You know what I'm saying? We want to recruit
And Wilson's 25.
25, right?
Minka's 26. So you get why he did that.
But as a player, if you were in Minka's shoes, would you feel some type of way? I mean, I wouldn't really, but maybe a little bit.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So I get both. Like, if you're Minka, like, yo, I'm that guy, but it's like, okay, but Caleb's going to play for us this year, potentially, if he chooses us. So I get the team part, too. Like, yo, bro, we got to see him. We got a chance at Caleb. We want Caleb.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I do get him to feel some type of way. And I think that's why, personally, per this visit list on 247, he actually went out and seen him in April on the 28th for a coaching visit, right? So Pope went all the way out to Kansas just to go see him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think he's definitely trying to mend that fence and make sure, because bro is like that.
He's like that, brother.
Bro is like that. We seen that at EYBL last year. He like that.
He's like that. Oh, you mean player do it all, defensive end, swatting stuff, 3-level score, not no BS. Nah, he can kind of shoot the ball. Nah, he you know what I'm saying? He's one of the coldest out there for sure. So those are two names to keep watch on for Kentucky. Is Beckham Black and Mika Murin. Isaac Ellis, the South Carolina newsman, but you know what I'm saying, committed to South Carolina, joining his brother Eli Ellis along with fellow teammate Hayden Simeon, and they brought back shooting guard. I can't remember his name. Came from Ohio State. Prolific scorer, prolific two guard. But I say all this to say, man, from covering South Carolina during my time, I like Coach Lamont Paris, but it seems as though his recruiting goes in waves. You know what I mean? Like last year was a really down year. He brought in Tyler Hero's brother. Didn't really see any action. Very talented, in my opinion. He's transferred. I had a lot of guys transfer in and out. Naj, I know you're tapping into the college basketball scene. Do you think Coach Lamont Paris can be consistent after this year? I'm on mute, brother.
I think it's gonna take him a little time.
Think so?
It's a little bit of process baking. It takes time to build and structure that out. It's just like I said, the consistency. So I say give him like 1 to 2 years. I think he can build out something potentially that could be formidable, like an engine that is paving the way. You know what I'm saying? Potentially. But I think Coach Perry is doing a good job. I mean, he retooled this whole roster. Like, he eradicated everybody. He only brought back one
Cam Scott.
Like, I did an article on. Like, that's it. So he's banking on the Isaac Ellis's, these high-end guys, these blue-chip recruits he got, and then, you know, some of the veterans they got in the portal to put it together. South Carolina's not as known on their basketball front bacon as the girls program is. So it's a process, but we've seen in previous years they've had good basketball seasons. So it's going to take time, Bacon. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take them time. But they definitely – it's the same thing I said about with Pope. Can you get – so, like, can you have a year like Pope? Can you retool this whole roster? Can y'all be a tournament team? Can y'all make some noise? Can you get to a Sweet 16? It's different in football, right? Football, you know, you got to be making the college football playoff or compete for ACC championship or be a bowl team and getting wins. For basketball, it's like, okay, let's make the tournament. Can we make a run in the tournament? And if it's a team that hasn't made the tournament in a while, okay, that's a positive. Or if it's a team that gets past the first round, that's a positive. Or a Sweet 16, that's a positive. And you look at blue chips, no. Or blue bloods, no. Look at Kentucky's, Dukes. Gosh, I can't think of blue bloods right now. Kansas, like, no, like the standards championships. But for them, that would be process, that progress. Same thing we always talk about with Coach for Georgia Tech, Daniel Stoudemire. Can we take them steps forward? Elite recruiter, can you take them steps forward? So I think that's key with Coach Paris. Completely eradicate the roster, but 1 or 2 guys, depending on some young guys, thoroughbreds come in a portal. Does that lead to wins? Does that equate to wins?
Absolutely. And Mechie Johnson was a 2 guard that I was talking about. Transferred out last year, went out, came back in. I believe it was I think it's a 6th year playing college basketball. But They gotta when Coach Perez has a good team, he's proven he can coach. As we saw a couple years ago when they had that Metri Johnson group when they went to I think the Sweet 16. So when he has talent, and I expect him to do the same thing with Eli Ellis, is going to set I believe he's going to set the college basketball world on fire as a freshman, right? I think you can book him for 2 years. I don't think Isaac Ellis comes if he doesn't have the opportunity to play with his brother, which leaves open the door for Cole Rosario, right? Who's got a lot of schools looking at him.
Emotion.
Got a lot of emotion, you know what I'm saying?
Does.
One of the top performers at the NBA Players Association camp. I think he's a Duke Blue Devil, but if he'll stay for 2, right? You know what I'm saying? He can stay for 3. We could possibly see that band back together. This is just, you know what I'm saying, foreshadowing possibilities. And that's another link to why I think Coach Perez can string along some bona fide recruiting classes with this thing going for, especially having a Moravian prep, you know what I'm saying? Coach Ellis, you know what I'm saying? Him seeing the success of what South Carolina's got going on, you know what I'm saying? Him bringing the Suns in. Yeah, I like Coach Perez, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we should check him out. I got him on my phone. So, and this is how these things work. So, I'm very bullish on college basketball. I mean, on South Carolina men's basketball going forward. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to transition into NC State news. We're going to stay right in the Carolinas. Caden Samuels, I believe the leading scorer in EYBL, has scheduled a visit to NC State, has scheduled a visit to the Wolfpack. Very interesting, right? His sister, his sister is a signee. Candace Samuels is transferred from UConn to play at NC State. So this is very interesting, though. I think just because having your sister there, I don't think it's a shoe-in, right? Because everybody wants to play in their own path, you know what I'm saying? You're going to play with them, but being on campus, you know what I mean? You can do that at home, come on for holidays. But nonetheless, it is something worth talking about. So, Naj, what is your thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, man. Same thing. A top end recruit. We look at obviously Caden Samuels and what he can bring to the table. And now we turn. Remember, so they got a new coach. Well, Wade, right? He's coming in now, stepping in for them. We know what he's been able to do, formerly LSU. Before that, he was at, I believe it was a mid-major. Turned that team around. They made a deep run in this postseason. So we know we can coach, right? It's just being able to bring the talent back to NC State, getting them back to a level where they're competitive. A level where they're making noise. My thing, okay, this year, my test for them, can they be a top 8 team in the ACC this year, or top 6 team in the ACC this year? They're always loaded with talent, but new coach at the helm, right? And then obviously, him coming in, he sees the value, he sees what NC State has with their new coach. So definitely a little bit on the bone here for sure. Obviously, with the sister being there, that's not everything because everybody makes their own path, but just how well does the visit go? What's the insight after he comes outside of there? Will tell us a lot.
100%. And also news for them as well. They lost big man Paul Mabia. He decided to decommit from NC State. That is I can't remember exactly where he's from. He's French. The 6'11", 7'7" wingspan young man, 20 years old, from French pro team. He's a monster. You know what I'm saying? Plays under Tony Parker's a Euro team, so that's big. But that's a great point, Naj. Can they be successful moving forward? That's going to be something to see. And per Joe Tipton, at the top of 100 camp, averaged 26.4 points with 9.8 rebounds last week. So the kid is a monster for sure. To round out our high school basketball news, Bo Ogden, a big time player from in Houston, sets up an official visit with Virginia, another ACC team. A lot of ACC news right here. Obviously, we cover the Yellow Jackets, so we want to keep our people informed of what's going on in the ACC. As also announced, he's playing basketball at Westlake High School in Texas. That's very big. But again, brother, the floor is yours, man. I know these are OVs. You never know where kids are going to go. But just what's your thoughts on Bo Ogden and his game?
Yeah, I mean, Bo Ogden's I feel like he's a player that fits them well. But one of my comparisons, people can call me crazy, Kyle Guy a few years back. I think his game is similar to his. He's a player that was really good for Virginia back in the day. Made the NBA. Obviously, didn't pan out to the level that he wanted, but
Mm.
a guy that could potentially make some noise. Now it's early. Visiting things like that. Virginia's trying to turn it around. New era. No Tony Bennett anymore. I feel like I keep saying the same thing over and over with these teams because it's just every team got a new era now. Like just new coach, roster turnover. But that's where we at in college basketball. I mean, that's just the reality. So this is a good thing for Virginia. Virginia, I feel like it's been a little while since they've landed a top end recruit. So being that they're getting this OV definitely says a lot. And they in a program that's in a new direction. So how do you just turn it around? I don't want to keep reiterating or regurgitating the same thing I'm saying, but how do they recruit with this new coaching staff? It's pivotal. But having this kid who's an elite player who's going to go play some higher competition at Westlake in Texas says a lot.
Man, brother, I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. I got to tip my cap to you on that Kyle Guy comparison. That was tough. That was tough. 100%.
I've always watched hoops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, I know a lot of different players from the eras and stuff, man. So I've always watched hoops. Just I guess football kind of has it for me, but I do love my hoops too.
Nah. The acumen is definitely shining through, bro. So we want to keep y'all tapped in with that. That's all for the high school basketball conversation. You know what I'm saying? We're going to tap into it kind of spills in high school, kind of goes with college because it's recruiting, but we're going to talk about college basketball and what better way to bring that in and talk about Coach Damon Stoudemire, man. So now again, I'm going to ask you, man, how does Coach we always see Coach Damon Stoudemire at these big events. Like we saw him at Peach Jam last year. He was at the NBA Players Association Top 100 camp. And, you always see the tweets, oh, yeah, so-and-so was here. Oh, yeah, so-and-so was talking to him. Like, Coach Damon Stoudemire is no secret that he's one of the best recruiters in the nation. How does his news fly under the radar? Like, I had to go read a KSR Kentucky Reporter article that he talked to Baba Oladutun. He made it in the home visit. Like, why is that not on my Twitter feed as a Tech reporter?
That's not on your Twitter feed because it's the same thing we've been talking about with Tech. They're trending in the right category. They're doing the right stuff.
Right.
But it's not equating to win. So they don't have Tech can have moxie and that wherewithal because they're kind of in the mecca in the center where all the talent is at. Similar to what we see with the football program. But they just haven't gotten to where they're in the national spotlight. Now, in a comparison, Tech has, like football, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Clemson game, ABC. Primetime slot on Friday night on ESPN. Georgia, ABC. So we haven't quite seen that from Coach Stoudemire. Like, when's the last time you've seen a game of Tech televised on ESPN or in a major network window? They're on HC Network now.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like this is must-see TV, ESPN, primetime, blockbuster. It has not been that. So I think it's because they don't have that. And then a lot of the reporters that we have with Tech, they're kind of focused on football and recruiting and all that stuff. So that stuff ain't going to really shake at the moment. And I think that's why you see the little cobwebs and you have to kind of search. And they become like I keep reiterating, they become that program and they make an NCAA tournament. They make some noise, whatever it is. They're a top 5 team, top 4 team in the ACC. You will see more people talking about them visiting Baba Oladotun. But that is the reason, again, Bacon, he's getting these in-home visits. He's going to his top NBA camps. That's why he's getting these top recruits, though. That's why he's getting them Nakai Fleming, a Brandon Stores. You know what I'm saying? Getting Peyton Marshall to come back home. You know what I'm saying? A Bay Dongo, a Muhammad Silla. Like, this is why he's getting these guys. Because he's going to this stuff. He's building rapport and relationships. That is pivotal. But yeah, that's why you're not seeing it as a reporter.
Yeah, I mean, I put 2 and 2 together and I see why. But you get a coach, former NBA player, come out of Boston Celtics head coach. Now I get it, not quitting to win, but it's something like that in home visit.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. We don't have our reporters, out, focus on basketball. But you know what I mean? I don't know. If I was you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna get into all that, but yeah, for sure. That's big news. I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, going forward, it'll be covered heavily because like I say, I think Coach Damon Stoudemire is like 3 to 4, what I say, 3 to 4 years away from getting that big blue chip guy. You know, I think
He's already got big blue chips.
well, I mean like a you know what I mean, like a
You talking about 5-star?
I'm talking about
Five star and blue chip is two different things. Blue
okay,
chip is 4-star.
okay.
He's doing that, but you talking about like the 5? Yeah,
Appreciate you correcting me. Yeah.
yeah, of course, brother. Yeah, I agree though. He's probably about. I give him like 2 or 3,
Yeah. 2, 3. Okay.
2 or 3 away. He not that far off. He like right there.
100%. I think two years away from being a real threat in the NCAA tournament. I think this year is going to be good. This year is going to be a big step in the right direction. But I think Sweet 16, that's their goal. I'm saying for somebody analyzing and covering them. Sweet 16 is the goal.
Can you get 20 wins this year?
Can you get 20 wins this year? That's that. We need to start there. 20 wins.
Can you get 20 wins? Can you be it? So my goals I've outlined for my team. Can we get 20 wins? Can we be a top 4 team in the ACC? Formidable goals and build from there.
I like that, brother. I like that a lot. Let's see. A lot of big events, but okay, we already talked about that. Let's see. All right. Oh, UNC, Coach. I'm saying I love Coach. Coach Hubie Brown, man, got one of the highest. His roster is a lot of money. $14 million for the UNC roster this year. Kind of see I think we've kind of already had this going on in basketball, but you know what I mean. We see what's going on in football right now. Ohio State paying a lot of money. Penn State doing the same thing, right? They're trying to, you know what I'm saying, keep that thing going for the Big Ten. But back to UNC, $14 million roster, big name, Seth Trimble, Caleb Wilson, obviously from Georgia. Still having Jaden Young, Derek Dixon, Isaiah Dennis, North Carolina native. What's your thoughts on this approach in basketball, and do you think that UNC will get their money's worth this year?
Yeah, I want to bring up something. Just looking it up while you was talking. This is interesting. Little in-state rivalry we might got going on, Bacon. So NC State, if you didn't know that, he played for Hubie Brown. Or did I say his name right?
Hubie?
Yeah, Hubie.
Hubert, but I call him Hubie. They call him Hubie.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I don't think it's Hubert Davis. I think is his name.
Hubert Davis. I'm sorry.
Hubert Davis. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I don't mess up the brother name. So this is a shot thrown from an in-state program. We just talked about NC State and Will Wade obviously being the new coach, but this is what he had to say. He said, I don't know where we got him from. We found him on the side of the road. Vented somebody. The other school was too dumb to play him. When he plays 28 minutes, he's done that in 23 games. He averages 15 and 8. I don't know why the hell they didn't play him, but we're going to play him. So he's going to average 15 and 8. We're excited about Vent. So, I mean, that's a direct shot to Hubert Davis and what he has at the North Carolina program. We know about Ian Jackson obviously transferring out. But I think it's interesting for an incoming head coach to obviously say that about his rival program, not too far away. So that kind of brings me to my next point. But I just want to get your reaction to that being said, because that hit a lot of headlines when that was said.
Where is this coach coaching at now?
That's Will Wade. We just talked about him. NC State.
Oh, okay.
He just said this about Hubert Davis.
Got you. I mean, what are my thoughts? That's obviously they have some bad blood there. I said bad blood. I don't think you could say Ian Jackson possibly left because some people have questioned Coach Davis's coaching style. He's won, so he does have that chip on his shoulder. But ultimately, Ian Jackson just went closer to home, went to St. John's. So you have to really peel back the layers. But coaches, it gets personal between the lines. I'm not really gonna look too deep into it because people are gonna be people. I'm gonna need to see some more things come out because I don't have the inside scoop where I'm hearing things on the inside. I can only hear people this from, you know what I'm saying, casual watchers of the game.
Got you, brother. My standpoint is I think it's a direct shot saying he didn't use his talent the right way, and that's why some of his talent left. That's what I think. And then to your question you posed about this $14 million roster, this has to work, bro.
Yeah.
This has to work. This can't work. This can't be a situation where this does not work. This has to work for Hubert Davis, and I think he really saved his job last year when they ended the season better, when he landed a 5-star in Caleb Wilson, and that helped him. But North Carolina cannot have the season they just had. They have to perform better. They have to beat Duke. I know that's only 1 or 2 games a year, but excuse me, it is going to be tough. It is. But that's the mark of the rivalry. We know they're going to have the Bouger twins. We know they got a top class yet again in this 25 coming in. So it's not going to be easy, but you got to do it, and you got to find a way to do it. So a lot of pressure, man. And it's a similar situation. I don't want to keep bringing in college football, but you look at Ohio State.
Yeah.
It was that situation for them last year.
Yeah.
Hubert Davis is in that same situation. How does he respond? What's the reaction? If they lose to Duke, do they let him go mid-season? Or do they believe in him enough if he goes to the tournament, he can make a Final Four run, right? All those things can change and save your job and change the rationale and the opinion on you. We've seen it, obviously, with Ohio State. They was asking for that man job, Ryan Day. But he overcame that Michigan hurdle, got them boys to where they need to go, and obviously they ended up winning the Natty. Different sports, but they got to be able to win. Kai and Evans going to have to be good this year. Seth Trimmer going to have to come in. Caleb Wilson has to be an instant impact player for him. Those are the tough things that's going to have to happen.
I agree. Isaiah Dennis is going to be a big name for them. I know he's a freshman, but we saw him at Peach Jam. Prolific scorer, man. Also a native of South Carolina, underrated gem that's going to have a type of season that Isaiah Evans could have had last year for the Duke Blue Devils. But last year, I just don't think North Carolina really had a traditional big. That's what caused them their casualties. They got beat up inside. That's why Duke had their way with them. That's why a lot of teams were at size beat them up. You know what I mean? So that's something to keep an eye out for moving in this year. You know what I'm saying? They've corrected that problem. Also reported by College Basketball Report, Kentucky, this year's roster is reported to be estimated around $20 million. So Coach Mark Pope is possibly or in the same boat. So I wanted to throw that out there. All right. Also in college basketball news, man, there's been some talks about them moving from 2 halves to 4 quarters. Dumb.
Leave it alone, bro. There's so many other issues in college basketball, bro. Like, why are we messing with that part? And then I think they changed the continuation, a part of it. Some different verbiage they kind of got there. So they changed that aspect of it. And I think each team is going to get a challenge. I think this upcoming season is similar to the NBA. So, like, that part's cool. But, like, why are we – because the girls changed it a few years ago. I don't think we need to change it. Leave it alone. It's 40 minutes, 20-minute halves. I think it goes quick. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Give the kids an extra foul. That's what we need to be talking about. Give them 6 fouls instead of this nonsense 5 fouls. That's what we need to talk about.
I wouldn't mind that, actually. I wouldn't mind that.
Been talking about that for way too long. We get to the big dance. Oh, it was a big foul out in the Final Four. Somebody had 5 fouls. You know what I mean? So let's do things like that. So I agree with you, brother. I mean, it's cool to talk about, but there are bigger things in college basketball to talk about for sure.
100%.
I should have linked that, so we're gonna skip over that. Actually, let me pull it up. Duke has a grueling non-conference schedule this upcoming year. Though, do I think it would be a problem for them? Probably not. Duke has it probably has the best roster in college basketball this year. So we're gonna take a look at it. It's not up yet, but looks like I said, we'll kind of gloss over it, man. I think Duke will be fine. I don't care who Duke plays. It should be a number 1 seed this year with a roster like that. I'm sure you would agree to the same thing, Naj.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely should. I think this should be a team that should be right back in that position, right? Now it's going to be, I don't want to keep reiterating the same thing, but Coach John Showery, like, they should have won a natty this year. Let's just be honest. They should have won a natty this year, but they got out coached. And he didn't rotate. We kept saying, play Isaiah Evans, put him
Yep.
in the game, right? You got him back. I think he's coming back from what I heard. I know he was still like weighing his options with the NBA, but that dude is a marksman. You don't sit him on the bench.
Yeah.
You play him. And then when your team was, remember, they were up on Houston. And they were on like a 7-minute scoring spell. Go get, like, that's why they beat Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech gave them boys a fight. You know what I'm saying? Early on in the ACC tournament game. But they put Isaiah and it changed because he's a flamethrower. He's a microwave. Came in, they had 9 points easy. So, like, that's what I mean with Duke. This roster, once again, can get them to where they want to go, right? And you can even say it's more talented than the roster last year with Cooper Flag. They had some good players, but this roster is more talented. But can Coach Shire in them situations going against Kevin Sampson, going up against the elite of the elite, can he make them coaching changes to help propel his team to victory? Because that's all it was. Houston was more experienced, bro, but Duke was more talented of a roster to win it all. That's to me, that's the key for Duke.
Absolutely, man. I think it's a surprise to see Isaiah Evans stay. He must really want to be a Duke Blue Devil, and he must really believe in the program. Because I'm saying, as we see other kids, they hit that level of adversity. Like, all right, coach, I'm out here. We saw him put his name in the NBA draft, but I think that was just to see where he was at. So that'll be something to watch. You know what I'm saying, how he handles Isaiah Evans moving forward. Well, switching to NBA news, the game is on right now. Game 6 for the finals. Updated people. I'm sure people got it on in the background. The Pacers are up 2 right now, 34-32, second quarter, 8 minutes on the clock. Right now, Tyrese Halliburton has 4 points, 1 for 5. 1 for 1 from the free throw line, but he has an assist, has a rebound. It's +7 on a plus or minus efficiency rating. My question for you, Mr. Wilkins, do you think it's over tonight, or do you think Indiana will push for Game 7?
This depends on how Holly plays.
Yeah,
and it's not just from a scoring perspective. It's can he create offense for others? Can Obi Toppin get going? Can he create for Nembhard? If you have a hot hand in TJ McConnell, don't sit him on the bench. Play him. The reason why they got back in that game, obviously in Game 5, that pivotal Game 5. So, like, same kind of thing, man. Just, I know he's not 100%, but give it your all. Just the finals is for all the marbles. Find a way to force a Game 7 if you're the Pacers and you're Halliburton. Don't always have to be scoring, but find another way to impact the game. I think is the biggest thing. But we'll see. I think it really depends on that. I'm still going to go with OKC. I think they're going to end it here. Would it be nice to win Game 7 at home and celebrate with the crowd? Sure. But I do think they'll have enough to kind of close it out tonight. But I could be wrong. But I think they got enough to close it out tonight.
Yeah, they definitely got enough to close it out tonight. Hallie's starting a little slow. It's going to come – this game, as it should, come down to the last 2 minutes of the ball game. And we'll all be locked in. I know I'll be locked in on that time. Hopefully we can keep it as close as it is right now. We'll see. Halliburton, he's got a thrill for the dramatics. He's a floater away or a step back three away, or a runner away from tying the game or take it through Game 7. So I don't know. He's playing. He's got a +7 efficiency, though he is struggling from the field. But we know Hallie's a second half type of player, and he's in a conscious in big moments. So big news. We didn't have this on the topic list, but this is Ace Bailey we're talking about here, per ESPN. Yeah, he decided not to. He canceled on the 76ers. Let's see if I can find a quote. Sources say, let me close this. I don't want to. Sources say Bailey's camp informed interested. Sources say Bailey's camp has informed interested teams that believes he is a top 3 player in the draft, but also seeks a clear path to stardom. hoping to find a situation with ample minutes and usage to maximize his full potential. So the 76ers be at number 3 and the Charlotte Hornets at number 4 elect not to draft him. Bailey's camp expressed the belief that teams such as the Wizards, Pelicans, or Nets picking 6, 7, or 8 will be aggressive looking to move up in the draft to select him. I'm gonna be candid. You know what I'm saying? Ace Bailey, you know what I'm saying? I've never had any problems with what I'm saying with Ace, you know what I'm saying? His camp, you know what I'm saying? They like to do things their way. They're like, we see value in this, we're gonna do this. So I mean, it's no surprise to see this. I think that's why everybody kind of hints. Like it was a coach, that came out and said Ace Bailey's talented, but keep the main thing, right? And I think we're seeing this here. I mean, people are gonna do what they want to do. I think this is it. Yeah, I knew it was Coach Stoudemire. I was getting ready to say it. Keep the main thing. So, so yeah, man, not a surprise, but you know, Ace Bailey's got all the talent in the world. We'll see, man. I think it's gonna be successful. I think this is just, you know what I'm saying, what's going on in the modern era of sports. But I'm gonna throw the floor to you. I know you're orchestrating behind the scenes, but when you saw this, just what were your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I think it could be a situation to get some bad advice. I don't know if you heard. I think his agent representing him is Sharif Cooper's dad. Not saying he wouldn't have his best interest, but you know, that's something to consider and think about as well. You know, Ace is a phenomenal player. I don't feel like Ace had any problems at Rutgers. You know, just to be a situation. You know how sometimes that pre-draft stock they try to deflate your stock a little bit, whatever it may be. You know, I think from the Shador situation, we should learn like never underestimate.
Don't catch chickens.
Yeah, don't count your chicken. You don't know, like, just go work out with anybody. Like, I think, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's a top player. We know how good he is, but it's not worth it to lose that early money in that contract. I just don't think it is. You know, we're talking about millions of dollars. I know these kids got NIL deals and all that stuff, but you want that second NBA contract to be like that. So make that money you can with the first one. The second one's going to make you your money and generational wealth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think for him, just like Coach Summer said, keep the main thing. You know, don't overestimate, don't underestimate any team. If there's a certain team, that's cool. But at the end of the day, these GM's gonna make the choice and going to decide where you're gonna end up going. I think it's key. So I mean, Ace is talented. You know, hopefully he's not afraid to go in and work out and have bad things to say about him. Just do what you can, man. And like I said, just keep the main thing.
Yeah, facts. I think Philly would have embraced him playing with Jeremy McCain alongside those young superstars. It's been a nice little, but obviously they want to go elsewhere. But also another big news in basketball world, didn't have this on the top list, but I'm sure Naj knows about it. Boston Celtics and the Lakers organizations have been sold in the same year. Lakers sold their organization yesterday for $10 million to the Dodgers owner. Some people, well, I'm sure there's some people out there that don't think Mark Walter, the owner of the Dodgers, is going to do a good job, because we've seen the Buss family have it so long. Yes, it's unfortunate to see the transition, but per ESPN, Genie will be in place for the next foreseeable future, probably 4 to 5 years. Should be calling the shots. But I think as they transition to Mark's years, we know him and Magic Johnson work hand in hand, and Magic Johnson has been wanting to have his hands on his basketball team for a while now, which is why we saw, you know what I'm saying, the split of the marriage when Magic was a GM of the team, and he was bumping head with Kurt Rambis, and I can't remember the GM right now, Rob Pelinka. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. You said that, brother. But we see the Dodgers, right? I think the highest payroll in MLB, Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman. I'm saying Mookie Betts. You know what I'm saying, the pitching staff, Tyler Glasnow, everybody knows the whole shebang. When we look at this for the Lakers, right? When you spend money with a team like the Lakers, it's gonna, you know, you spend money in the NBA or professional sports, it usually pans out for it, because you're getting premium talent with a premium cost, i.e. the Mets, right? So I think yes, it's fortunate to see the Buss family kind of step to the side. But the Lakers are probably in better hands moving forward, especially with the departure of LeBron. You want to see somebody come in and put the money on the table.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are excited about this because they feel like they weren't spending the money they needed to in order to fill out this roster. Maybe in some avenues they were being cheap. So I think a lot of fans are actually excited about this of the sale. She's obviously going to continue to serve in the governor role. But when you have Sears and he's not afraid to spend money, he went out and got a global superstar in Shohei Ohtani, and look how that's been panning out. Just pitched his first game, I think, since 2023. And we know how league of a talent he is on the mound and also as a batter. So I think that's what fans want to see. They want to see the retool of this Lakers team, and got to credit LeBron. LeBron came in there, delivered the championship, right? But now it's that era of, okay, it's time to move on. Like, he's about to transition into whether that is an ownership role or a GM role or whatever it may be, calling shots from behind, right? So now you got a global superstar, Luka, who can build around. What other pieces do you get? Is this the last ride for LeBron? Like, does he play one more year and that's it? Like, what's kind of next there? And that's the thing. They got to find out what's next. They got the centerpiece in Luka, but who else do you get to build around that moving forward? Because that's Luka's their future, quite frankly. And they got a big contract extension coming up for him. He wants to be paid. I think it might be this summer, if I'm not mistaken, because I know the Mavs didn't want to pay that hefty contract. So I think Laker fans are excited. Is there uncertainty? Yes. Is it okay? Will this owner get us what we need to win? Yes. But at the same time, the Celtics has went through it too. They sold the team. They got new ownership. Everybody's saying that they're going to probably break up the team this year. Either Derek White or Jaylen Brown. Maybe more players. You know what I'm saying? So if I was a fan, I wouldn't be as nervous because that's two historical franchises that have won the most NBA championships in history over going significant change at the top. Sometimes you need change to usher in a new era.
Great insight by you, but if I'm the Thunder, I know that things are riding high right now, but I'm letting go Caruso and probably Luke. I'm going to get that boy Devin White. That's just me. I'll bring him in, let him run a point, let Shea slide into more of that 2-guard role. That's just me. I know that sounds crazy, but I think I like that move. Okay, see, bring in Devin White, sharpshooter, point guard, elite defender, and sleep on it and get back to us. But moving on.
I'll leave that.
Say it again.
I said I'll leave that there. We'll explore that another day.
So ESPN is news to everybody now. The TNT crew, Charles or Chuck, Kenny, Ernie, and Shaq will be partnering up with ESPN. And I must say, the finals coverage for ESPN has been lackluster. There's no in-game coverage. If it's on TNT, we're getting beginning, middle to end. I like the panel, Stephen A. Obviously,
He playing solitaire all the game.
Yeah, he playing solitaire. That's what I'm saying. Lackluster coverage, man. You gotta be locked in. I know Chuck and them be playing around, but I think eventually the guys they're gonna beat them at their own game because they got too much of an organic following in the ESPN. They got a good crew. You know what I'm saying? Malika, you know what I'm saying? Rob, Bob, but
I'll say this in terms of the game. I love the post game coverage with Scott Van Pelt. I don't know if you've been watching that, but he does an outstanding job. I think.
Yeah, he does.
Of the player interview, of getting Tim Legler on, dissecting the game, bringing in Brian Windhorst. I think he's doing sometimes Stephen A on the panel. I think he's doing a really good job of the coverage. But for the others, it's like I'm trying to see how I can say it. It's decent coverage, but it's like, oh man, it's not a big market team. But this is one of the best finals we've had in a while. We've talked about this already on the channel, Bacon. Yeah. And they don't feel like they're really delivering that.
Right.
Excuse me. So I think that's why they went out and got Charles Barkley, Ernie Johnson, Shaq, Kenny. Because remember, they're going to be on the ESPN programming. I think they're just going to produce it. TNT's going to produce it. So I think that's why. Like, that's hard to replicate. Some people say, oh, well, they don't really talk basketball. But when you look, like, they got the game. I know everybody got their own opinion. I'm saying from what others think. I like how they do the game, but some people don't feel like they do. I feel like Shaq actually talks about, okay, this player needs to do this, this, and this. Barkley gave his viewpoint. And then obviously Kenny does the breakdowns.
Right. And
what's going on. And then, obviously, Ernie's the consummate of putting it all together. So I think ESPN's missing that, right? They've in they're trying to find that magic. Like, I don't know if you've noticed that. They're trying to find that magical team. Like, they don't have the Mike Breens, I mean, he's still there, but I'm talking about this rotation. They don't have the Mike Breens, they don't have the Mark Jackson, the Van Gundys, right?
Yeah.
They made it exciting. Now Breens still doing this thing, but it was just a better telecast, in my humble opinion, when it was talking about, obviously. Now, back in that era, it was, Steph and Bron. We know global stars, yes. But I feel like they did really good in 2018. Like, before they ended up leaving. 2018, we had different teams. 2019, different teams. Raptors, Warriors. Like, so it's not to say that Dorsberg, Jefferson, they're not doing a good job. It's just, I don't know if that's really resonating with the fans, or who's watching. So I think it could be better. I like ESPN. I like to watch. I mean, I've been watching the finals. I just think
ain't nowhere else to watch it.
nowhere else to watch it. I mean, they got the exclusive coverage. So I don't know. I think getting the TNT crew will do a lot for them and help.
Exactly. And to your point, I'm saying, what does media do? They make the stories. They make those superstars. Because yes, Steph Curry came out of college with a big storyline, but it takes voices, it takes writers and analysts to make these guys. And to your point, I think that's where they're dropping the ball at. So I don't know. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but they definitely need to have the guys. They need to have the guys covering the finals, whether you have them at the end to kind of bring Stephen A. and them in at mid game. But I think you need to keep Scott Van Pelt, because I don't like to just throw people out on the grass, even though ESPN does that with the counts of names: Bill Walton, Mark Jackson, Van Gundy, who's now assistant coaching. But it's going to be interesting to see how they do it. But you got to have those guys covering big games and doing post game coverage. So, man, that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Now I'm gonna throw it back to you, man. If you want to shout anybody out for the storyline that you want to add in, time is now.
I mean, shout out to the finals. I mean, everybody can say what they want. Let's just do a quick update. This what the score is, just real quick,
all right,
before we get up out of here. The game right now, like, Indiana has a big lead. They're up 13 with 4 minutes to go before the half, right? But the finals has been competitive. It's been back and forth. I feel like it's delivered. We're about to get a game 7, and it doesn't feel like it. Like, everybody's just tuned off and turned off. I mean, this has been a great final. So, I've enjoyed watching it. I think both teams have made their claim and have made their stake in the finals. Jalen Williams balled out and had 40 piece the other night. It's been fun to watch, man. So I'm excited to see the upcoming class, 2026, how they get recruited for hoops. Excited to see this free agency. I think the free agency is going to be off the chain this year for NBA. And I'm excited to discuss it. They're talking about a lot of things will happen. KD going to get traded. What happens with Giannis? They're saying it's going to be a wild NBA offseason. And, we get to cover it. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, fun day today, man. Cool day. Got more to do. Kind of crazy. I do want to mention this on the show real quick, and then I'm gonna let you just wrap us up, get us out of here, Bacon. But I didn't even post. Let me see if I can find this real quick. I didn't even post anything that this show came out. I just scheduled it, and I think it's wild that it's already out. Hold on, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about real quick. And no, Bacon, I'm not trying to give no pub.
No, you could, but I'm not sure what you're talking about right now. But
so I think this is wild. Let's see if I can show you.
Inside Georgia.
Okay, hold on. Wait, copyright. So this posted 4 hours ago. I know what you guys are going to say, like, oh, it's only 32 views. But the fact that already has views and I didn't even promote anything yet, haven't had the chance to, I think says a lot. And I know this obviously is a basketball pod. And we're going to stay on basketball. But the fact that I haven't even had a chance, I haven't even had a chance to get this kid his stuff because I've been so busy today. But the fact that he's already seen it and posted it and got it off of YouTube, I think says a lot.
Separates from the defense, and it just makes it look easy. And that's what.
So I just wanted to say that, not to toot my own horn, but I think that does just show about the visibility me and Bacon are getting just across platforms and just being able to see how we're resonating with the kids, man, football and basketball, man. So I'll leave it at that.
Hey, man, I'm going to leave it like that, man. That's a great way to end the show, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, tapping in with us. We're here Monday at 6:30, Thursdays at 8. I'm saying locked in. We resonate most with you, and you resonate most with us. So enjoy the finals and enjoy the rest of your week and have a blessed weekend. We'll see you. All the Hoop Stars, we'll see you Saturday. Peace and blessings.